Bitcoin benefits from AI. Software companies, not so much. Let me explain. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this video. My name is DaVinci Jeremy. I'm in the pipe 5x5, and man, this is a good episode, man. I hope you watch all the way to the end. I hope you enjoy it all because it has got some good content for you. With that said, let's jump into the description and I'll show you guys all the news and where to get it and so forth. And right here, if you just hit the like, if you don't mind, and then scroll down, right, expand this, right, and you can see all the things we're going to be talking about today. We're not going to be also talking about how it's destroying SaaS companies, but we're also going to be talking about, the Federal Reserve just proposed the ending of crypto debanking. We're going to talk about that as well today. And you can find these links if you scroll down right here, right under the news links, right? If you're interested in the school, right, you could also do that. And if you're interested in some satoshis, some cheap Bitcoin, you could also check that out here in the description below. All right, with that said, let's move on to the first topic of today, which is, it's not that Bitcoin climbed 2.5% because it lost it again. It's the Fed proposal to end crypto debanking and cooling geopolitical fears, lift risk assets through ETF outflows, and absent U.S. demand cloud the picture. But this is very interesting. Why? Because I lived through the debanking era, right? Back when if you talked about having Bitcoin, I remember it was shortly after 2013 and into 2014, 15, and 16 in Chile. They were the worst. They were the worst, actually, offenders. They closed all the corporations, all the business, all the businesses that allowed for people to buy Bitcoin. They closed their bank accounts, and their Supreme Court actually ruled that was against, the Constitution, and they couldn't do that, right? Because there's no way to run a business if you don't have a bank account, so you can't do that, right? And so that was interesting. And what they did was then started banning the users after failing to ban the companies. So if for example, I was kicked out of my bank because they didn't say because I was using crypto. No. Can't do that. What they did was they saw a check that I had written and they weren't sure if the 9 was written correctly. So for that reason, they're going to have to expel me from the bank. I kid you not. So with that said, right, I know how this is, right? Where the banks, right, if you were connected any way to crypto, they would not let you in. When I moved here to Dubai, they said, listen, we can't mention anything about crypto. This is just a software company. Even though my software company's primary software was a wallet software, we're just generally a software company producing software. That's it. That's all you're going to say for financial industries. That's it. Business to business financial instruments software. And so that's how we managed to open up an account. So with that said, you can see that the banking industry is very, very nasty when it comes to crypto. And the Federal Reserve on Monday proposed rules that would eliminate reputational risk from the supervisory framework. The mechanism regulators have used to pressure banks to cut ties with crypto firms. Fed Vice Chair of Supervisory Michelle Bowman said discrimination against involvement in disfavored but lawful businesses, including cryptocurrencies, has no place in the Fed's oversight. Duh. So, it's not the end of it. Doesn't mean that this is going to end. It just means that we're moving in that direction, basically. And with the Fed's a lack of discrimination, right? But they're still going to discriminate because I'm sure because a lot of legal drugs, like for example in the United States, where you can now do certain like types of plants have been legalized, but banks don't provide banking for those particular types of businesses. So that's also going to help them as well. But this will allow for more cryptocurrency businesses to find legitimacy and allow them to actually have banking without the fear of saying, hey, you know what, I'm into crypto, right? That's it. So that's coming. Excellent news. Okay, moving on here. This is an excellent article. I highlighted the main part, but the state of AI agents. Basically, I'm going to switch screens. Basically, agents such as OpenClaw has changed the landscape. It started like last year. I remember last year I started using what's it called, Cursor, to write software. I wrote the software that produced the satoshi15.com, FRT15.net, and that's the fixed ratio trading system. I did not know how to write in Rust, and I was afraid to do that. But with AI, I was able to write the smart contract in Rust and get it out there so that you would have the tSATs, right? If you don't know what tSATs are, links are in the description below. It's just a cheaper way to buy Bitcoin. Anyways, and so all I had to do was, explain to it what I wanted, how I wanted it, right? And it helped me build it. And because I had software development knowledge, I could easily, transfer those knowledge to the application, such as test-driven development and so forth. And I walked it through all the things I wanted it to do. And I didn't have to actually write much code or look at much of the code. I did look at some of it, and I did ask appropriate questions for security issues to make sure that it did work. And I got it, all the security issues resolved. So with that said, that means software can be developed by anyone who knows just a little bit. And as these systems get smarter and smarter, and they can manage all the security issues that they actually create, then you can build your own software. And when you can build your own software, what do you need to pay somebody else for that software? So, for example, this might be a poor example, but I think it's a good one. I started using Vault Warrant for my password manager. I'm starting to move over. I'm paying monthly for a lot of my employees to use another password manager. And I realized, wait a second, the reason why one wouldn't want to use Vault Warrant in the first place was because although it was open source, right? I didn't want another thing to manage, but now I have AI to manage it. It can manage the software, the computer that it's on, everything. And I realized that not only that software, when you could build it yourself. I could have built my own password manager, but I'm not going to do that. I just use something that already existed, that's free, that I can host myself, and boom, I have a password manager. And I don't have to worry about anything because I understand the security risks. And so eventually I'm going to move away from that password manager. Yes, it's a small savings, but just think about all the different savings I'm going to have. I can even program it to create an editor. And that's another thing that I'm planning to do. I even have a network administrator. I can do all these things with OpenClaw. I could have all the different roles that I have in my organization replaced. It's insane. So SAS has got an eye. The AI's got an eye on SAS. So if we head over to where I scroll down to where I was highlighted, right? The key points right there in this article, there's a lot to it in this article, but the key point is near the conclusion here is that the evidence is now overwhelming that natural language has become programming language. LLMs, which is AI, large language models, are compilers for intent. So you just come up with what you want and it will produce it for you. The 285 billion SAS decline isn't market irrationality. It's early reflection. It is a natural. It's a reflection of a structural shift where AI agents make individual software products subordinate to agentic workflows. The pioneer, engineer, creator era that I've tracked across every creative industry has reached software itself. So basically, you just need the person to actually build the software to come up with the idea, right? 38% of the startups are now solo funded with up to 22%, right? Up from 22%. Smaller teams accomplish what previously required hundreds. Yes. Exactly. I want to create a new blockchain for Bitcoin, and I came up with the design, and it told me I would need a massive amount of team, and then now with OpenClaw I realized no, I don't need more. The bottleneck has shifted from engineering capacity to creative vision. Millions of new builders from non-technical backgrounds are entering the ecosystem, not because the tool got slightly better, but because the entire abstraction layer changed. Oh. Yes, that's it, folks. Things have changed drastically for the software industry. It is still early days. It is like the newspaper when the internet came. Newspapers, they didn't disappear, and they're still here even today. But and same with software companies, they'll be here for a long time. But their incomes and will always be declining. Their revenue will always be declining with this new era, because, well, with software that can be developed quickly, people will undercut their company with less people and lower prices for the same quality of software, or at least 80% of the way. Boom, it's over eventually. Okay, let's move on to technical analysis. You can see that Bitcoin has jumped a little bit, but up to it came back off the 66, and now in the last hour or so, I guess we've pumped a little bit, and you can see we have moved the 2.5% actually from the bottom there, and Bitcoin, I think it's done wiping. Look at that. I said no to the 78.6 Hail Mary trade just a few weeks ago. I remember saying, yeah, it's over. And it's a Hail Mary. No. And look at that. Boom. We came right into the Hail Mary trade and reversed. Wow. It just sometimes it just works out that way. I mean, was there a clear indication that was the Hail Mary pass? And let's see. Was the case here? Let's see here. No. You see, this could be just a. The issue is there's not a clear indicator saying, yeah, that was the target. But where's this is interesting. This is AB equals CD targeting that level, sort of like. But yeah, I wouldn't have. I've stopped using that targeting idea a while back. So I can't say I would have. I can't say I can find a definite secondary reason to jump in on the Hail Mary, because you can't just take a trade based on one reason, right? Which is the Hail Mary pass was the 78.6, right? Because Bitcoin was hitting 78.6 often. That's only one reason. You need to have more than one reason to make a trade, and there wasn't a secondary reason, at least, from my opinion, other than a fundamental reason, which was the fear and greed was extreme levels, and that's just not strong enough, because fundamentals do not give you enough evidence to make a trade on. They just help a trade, right? So, for example, if we had three different reasons to hit this, that was just going to be the reversal. Two other reasons other than the Hail Mary. It would have the fundamentals of fear and greed would have supported this trade, right? It would have been an easy slam dunk trade if we had two more reasons. And honestly, I'm surprised I could not find any kind of support other than the Fibonacci levels, which is just not enough for me. It's not enough. Not enough. Not enough. So, with that said, we missed it. It's probably gonna, but I said, like, when we saw this move reverse, right? I said it was probably gonna come back up and retest the highs, which to really scare out the longs. But let's see, because this is going to be a long way to go, and it's not moving fast. I was thinking it was going to move fast. So. Oof. It's not going to be an easy one. Now, if you want to trade this, you can trade this, of course, at x.dj15.com. Link is in the description below. If you want to join our school, right, and learn how to buy and hold Bitcoin with confidence and learn how to profit from that simple process of buying and holding, and also not only that, just gain the ability to do the right thing with your Bitcoins by learning some reputational skills that you can transfer to everything you do in your life. And this is the key thing. It's not just about buying Bitcoin or earning more money in Bitcoin, although that's the case. It is about getting yourself to do the work. That's what I've realized about my classes, is that I need to pivot into focusing on getting you to do the work in order for you to actually profit and make money. Okay. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ethereum looks like it was going to die, but I thought that's another thing. That was probably, I could have used this one as a reason. Ethereum looked like it could not break down this so soon. I mean, yes, the target looks like we're going to head below 1,000, but right now, no. So there was no evidence of this happening right now, but there was clear evidence, if we were to go like to this one, that we could break down a little bit lower than this, a little bit lower. But no, we did not do that. We did the AB equals CD level here. There you go. AB equals CD. Look at that. That's cool. That's the first time I've ever seen that AB equals CD work. It works often when Bitcoin was in the nascent stage. So I guess, I never tried it on Ethereum. I guess it's working on Ethereum. The AB equals CD levels there. Look at that. Because that was right on target. Right? We bounced exactly at 1800 and maybe I'll re-examine the use case of AB equals CD because that's what it is, right? And AB equals CD levels, right? And so for those who don't know, if you want to know what that means, Control V, Control B, there we go. It means that this is A, this level, the top level is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. Now, some might say, well, technically you should take it from here, right? Yeah, we clearly, right, because of this one here, because this move is all the way low here, we don't count this move as what I would do. I don't do that. I don't count any moves up if there's a lower move here. So if this was the low move, then I would have counted this, right? Then I would have counted that. So you could say, right, that if it was the case that this was the AB equals CD, but no, and it was. There looks like there was no, it wasn't, because it doesn't reverse right away. So you could say that, okay, well, it did reverse a little bit here on this one, right? But a reversal is a heavy reversal. So I would not count this as an AB equals CD for this being the top. This is the top after this move. So there you go. That's how I do the AB equals CD. And in order to find a decent trade, and yeah, everything was saying, hey man, there's no chance. This is breaking below the $1,700 level. Right, and this just yet. I mean, it's coming, just not now. Okay? All right. Looking at Solana was the same thing. Yes, we were destined to look like this. What is this? No, this was not an 88.6 Hail Mary. 78.6 Hail Mary. Was this? Nope. It was 61.8. So we hit the 61.8 and it bounced off of that. And we are reversing. So the odds are with Solana, with Ethereum, with Bitcoin, that we're going to retest on the 4 hour. You can see for sure we're going to retest the 200 period moving average for Solana for sure. Somewhere between $95 and $91 is where we're probably headed to. And then after that, if we break that, we're targeting all the way up to the 120-ish area where we lost it. And so I would not wait for that, because I'd start selling in above the $100 level, because we're going to be breaking down heavy. And so with that, if we take a look, there's probably another AB equals CD that's not as devastating, but that would produce another AB equals CD that's not as devastating, and probably line up with something that, I know this is not fair, that was, this is a mess too. Let's just delete this. That adds up. Yeah, there we go. So we'll probably add up to, see the 115-ish area. If we get there, there's a lot of ifs and buts and cherries and nuts here. But if we get there, this could line it up right up to the $46, which is where I'm targeting for Solana in this bearish situation. Let's quickly look at the 200 period moving average, and yeah, that's right. Look at that. This is going to reach up to the levels of 2150-ish area. If we can break it, we can continue back up heavy, right? We can, seriously heavy. Actually, we can hit up to $2,700. And I think the same applies to Bitcoin. Yes, but see the levels are going to be right at the $72 level. So it's going to be difficult one for us to break. If we break it, we're going to close the gap, which is at 84,000. But that's going to be a difficult thing to happen for Bitcoin. Very difficult. Very. Let's take a look at the dominance and close it off for today. I want to see what the dominance has to say. Is this the dominance, the market dominance? And am I missing a bunch of stuff? It's on the monthly chart, not the 2 weekly. What the hell? Did I lose a bunch of? Oh no, I think I lost all my drawing tools on my dominance. That's not good. Because we had a lot. Oh no. Yes. I've lost it all. That was a lot of data. Jesus. We had a lot of data on the drawing tools and it's gone. Yes. Yes, it is gone. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh well. I'll have to rebuild it somehow. Okay. Well, guys, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I know I enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.